Hey guys, and welcome to the Batcave. This is the first official video with me in front of the camera, in front of my brand new display with a small percentage of my collection behind me. Now, I had intended on displaying a load of my Batman the Animated Series collection, but just before Christmas, about 20 of them were stolen from my car. So to say that I'm devastated would be an understatement. Anyway, I'd really like to thank everyone that subscribed to this channel so far. We've been up for a little over a week and we're already approaching 1,000 subscribers. So thank you so much for the support. I can't wait to move forward and make Bat content for you guys. You're all the best. Now, there are currently so many Batman comic book titles being released each month that it can get a little bit confusing when trying to decide what to buy and what to read. So I thought I'd give you a rundown of everything that's being released this January with a brief rundown of each one, and then you can decide for yourselves what's best for you. And to be clear, I'm just going to be covering the main titles for now. There are plenty of issues that feature Batman but aren't main stories, so I'll be leaving those out of this video for now. And let's be honest, if I was covering them all, we'd be here forever. And obviously we are already a week into January, so a few of the main comics have already been released, so I won't be including them in today's video. But I promise you, in future versions of this, where I give you the rundown on upcoming comic book releases, I will be including everything and releasing the video enough time in advance that you get them all. Okay, let's get into it. First up, we have Batman issue 119, Abyss Part 2. For years, Batman used the darkness as a weapon, but now a new enemy turns that darkness against him. Batman must team up with Batman Inc.'s mysterious new benefactor to bring the deadly Abyss into the light. Wait, who is Batman Inc.'s new benefactor? Now, this one actually came out a few days ago, but seeing as it's the main Batman title, I had to include it. Next, we have the Batman Catwoman Special issue 1. Some great romances are destined to be. The Batman Catwoman series shows readers the romance between Bruce Wayne and Selina Kyle as it changed over their lives. But what about their connections from before they became costume adventurers? This special one-off issue, meticulously illustrated by John Paul Leon, who did Batman Creature of the Night, traces the life of Selina Kyle from her earliest days to her entry into the criminal underworld, and reveals that Bruce was actually a presence in her life all along. Whether it was fate or coincidence, this story gives even more reasons why Selina and Bruce's connection is one of the most enduring love affairs in comics. Then we have Detective Comics issue 1048, The Tower Part 2. The mysteries of Dr. Ware begin to unfold as a new doctor named Frau joins the staff at Arkham Tower. The Bat family tries to figure out the best way to infiltrate the facility, but someone may have gotten the drop on them. Someone not unfamiliar with psychiatric facilities. One Dr. Harleen Quinzel, better known to you dear readers as Harley Quinn. Backup story House of Gotham Part 2. A boy's parents were killed by the Joker and he fell through the cracks of the system. Instead of being sent to a facility that could care for him and his trauma, he was sent to Arkham Asylum. Will the villains inside eat him alive or show him how to survive in a city ruthlessly overseen by Batman? Now, as there are multiple issues of Detective Comics being released this month, please be aware that the synopsis for the following two issues may give things away for the previous issues. You've been warned. Detective Comics issue 1049. When Huntress elected to go undercover in Arkham Tower, it was to investigate a place of healing that seemed too good to be true. But what happens when Helena Bertinelli really does need some healing? With Nightwing and Batwoman also on the inside, what began as an undercover mission has turned into a rescue operation as the mysteries of Dr. Ware's Arkham Tower begin to unravel. Then in House of Gotham Part 3, the young boy rescued by Batman has begun his course of treatment at Arkham. So why are the only people showing him kindness those whom the law assert as criminals? It's a cycle of violence the Dark Knight has no answer for, as Gotham's most vulnerable struggle to keep their heads above water. The last Detective Comics issue of the month, 1050. It's the landmark, oversized issue Detective Comics 1050, and some of the biggest names in comics are here to celebrate the Dark Knight. First up in the Tower Part 4, the villainous force keeping Arkham Tower's patients sedated is at last revealed, and this villain's return is guaranteed to catch you by surprise. It's the dramatic conclusion to Act 1 of Mariko Tamaki's Arkham Tower epic, brought to life by the legendary Ivan Rice. Then, in House of Gotham Part 4, Matthew Rosenberg and Fernando Blanco take us into the seedy underbelly of Gotham's criminal elite through the lens of the original Robin, Dick Grayson, and reveal what it takes for a young man to survive amongst the deadliest killers in the DCU. It's a tour de force of Gotham's vilest villains. Last but not least, making his grand return from the DCU, writer Mark Waid teams with Detective Comics uber artist Dan Mora to bring you the start of a brand new day for Batman and Superman. It's the world's finest collaboration that you'll need to read to believe. Then we have Batman The Long Halloween Deluxe Edition, the sequel, Dark Victory. One of Batman's greatest mysteries returns. This new edition of an all-time classic features the gripping sequel to Batman The Long Halloween with new cover art by Tim Sale and dozens of behind-the-scenes extras. It collects the entire series Batman Dark Victory 1 to 13 and Batman Dark Victory, the new edition. Next we have Batman vs Bigby, A Wolf in Gotham, issue 5. The world-bending collision between Gotham City and Fabletown races towards its climax as two great detectives unite to unravel the Bookworm's master plan and stop the bombings, but while their brains might be up to the task, the final act will require all their brawn as well. Next up we have Batman Urban Legends issue 11. Batman and Zatanna. Every year the two have come together to defeat an evil curse. This year they fail, and the world is in peril because of it. Hounded. Ace the Bat Hound, the goodest boy in the DCU, has his day in an epic story featuring many DC super pets, brought to you by Mark Russell and Carl Mostert. Witch Knight. Catwoman tie-in with Fear State Aftermath. The mysterious relationship between Ghostmaker and White Witch is revealed in all of its horrifying glory in this issue. Next then we have I Am Batman issue 5. Batman fights for his life against a new breed of Peacemaker, augmented with his family's own technology. The only person who might be able to save his life is Lucius Fox. Then we have Robin and Batman issue 3. To reconcile his trauma and move toward an optimistic future, Dick Grayson must first confront his tragic past. Unfortunately, that step includes a confrontation with an enraged Killer Croc, who is out for Grayson's blood. This action-packed issue concludes the epic tale of a young man learning to live and love in a nightmarish world. Next up we have The Batman and ScoobyDoo Mysteries issue 10. An unexpected guest star helps Batman and Mystery Inc. face one of the Justice League's strangest foes. While the Shaggy Man menaces Scooby and his friends at a seaside resort, only Renee Montoya, aka The Question, may have the answer to who sent the creature and why. Next up we have Batman the Knight issue 1. The origin of Batman and his never-ending fight against crime in Gotham City is modern mythology. But what of the story in between? How did an angry, damaged young man grow into the most accomplished detective and crime fighter that the world has ever known? How did the Dark Knight begin? Superstar writer Chip Zdarsky, I'm sorry if I butchered that name, and acclaimed artist Carmine Di Giandomenico, oh, I'm so bad with these names, will take Bruce Wayne on a fraught journey, making allies and enemies on his training to become Batman in this definitive new series. I'm also going to include Nightwing issue 88. The Blue Stripes are back. Nightwing gets an updated suit starting this issue. Meanwhile, after the distressing events of rescuing Haley from getting kidnapped by bad guys, Nightwing discovers there are way more hits on Dick Grayson than he realised, thanks to going public about his fortune, and he needs to find a clever way to beat Dick Grayson and Nightwing at the same time. Meanwhile, Heartless tries to buy power away from Blockbuster in order to take control of Bloodhaven, and both of these big bads have Nightwing in their crosshairs. Another little special shout out I want to give out is to Batman One Dark Knight, which is a little special limited run that I picked up last week. It did come out obviously before this video, so it's not an upcoming release, but it's awesome and it looks like it's going to be a good mini-series, so definitely check that out if you haven't already. And that's pretty much it for the remainder of January. Like I said at the start, in future videos we will have more titles to tell you about, but this is a brand new channel and I've done what I can. Which titles will you be picking up and which ones would you recommend to others? Let me know in the comments down below. Thank you all so much for watching. Thank you for the support so far. It's going to be an exciting journey. I hope you all have a fantastic day and don't forget to return to the Batcave for more Bat content.